Welcome to November and to my video game club. It's starting to get cold outside, so it's time to get cozy and play some video games. I have 3 video game recommendations for you this month to help you decide what you want to play. Last month, for October, I looked at Nobody Saves the World with its unique mechanics and transformations. I also looked at Plague Tale Innocence, which has one of my favorite video game soundtracks of all time. But the Bald Star of Excellence goes to Batman Arkham Asylum. I beat this game in a relatively short time frame, and I enjoyed every minute of it. Arkham Asylum's excellent combat, memorable villains, and spooky aesthetic made it an excellent choice for the spooky season. I immediately moved into the sequel, Arkham City, and I can't wait to go back for more. But you're all here for November's games. First off is AAA heavy hitter Diablo IV. I played this way back during the beta testing, but I only recently purchased it because it was on sale to celebrate the release of the new expansion. If you're returning, the expansion is a good time to jump back in. I've heard excellent things. For me, I'm excited to just experience Diablo IV for the first time. I'm playing as a necromancer, which really secures the residual spook from Halloween, but the very cold, snowy environments give me the November vibes as well. I was a sucker for, and maybe I'm still a sucker, but I love the low-stakes, action-oriented, and almost mindless combat of Diablo III. I know Diablo IV is a return to form for the series with more flexible skill trees and a much darker tone. While it's a very different experience, I'm enjoying how much more involved combat is. All of the powers in Diablo IV look really cool, and this game is definitely scratching the loot itch in my gamer brain. I also really enjoyed the custom character creation, something that was missing in the third game. Check out Diablo IV. The indie darling this month is Manor Lords. I, like many people, was ridiculously excited when this game came out. The combination of setting and mechanics perfectly fit my gaming vibe. That said, Manor Lords can be pretty heady and complicated, but that's what adds depth to the systems and makes the game more fun. It's a good mix between a city builder and a colony sim with enough real-time strategy, Total War style battle moments to really paint the full picture of what it's like to be a Manor Lord. Making sure you have solid supply lines of various goods like timber and bricks reminds me a lot of Anno 1800, but you can't walk around your village as a dude in Anno 1800, so Manor Lords really pumps its guns in the atmosphere department. I love playing colony sims in November because in the States we celebrate Thanksgiving, where basically a bunch of pilgrims came over, took some land, and started a colony. I will spare you all from my grandstanding about the ethics of what is now just a very food-heavy holiday, but it always makes me feel like starting and managing a little colony, and Manor Lords is currently my favorite game to do that in. Finally, I like to pick a classic game for the month, with the only real criteria being the game's age, with the threshold being at least 15 years. Though it's a bit of a close shave, I can sneak in the 2009 masterpiece, Dragon Age Origins, which actually turns 15 years old on November 3rd, so it's definitely close enough. Dragon Age The Veilguard came out yesterday, at least according to my planned release date for this video, and despite my excitement for it, I've decided that I'm going to wait a bit to see if it'll go on sale, and with modern BioWare, it's a healthy idea to wait for some reviews. Dragon Age Origins, however, is unquestionably an excellent game. There are 6 well-fleshed out origin stories for your character to choose from as you begin this masterful RPG. Dragon Age Origins plays the most like a CRPG out of any of the series. I love the tactility of the real-time with pause combat and the cool unique abilities your characters all have. The real star of the show, though, is the narrative. This game is deep and immersive with many memorable characters, complex moral choices, and an incredible amount of nuance in the world building. Its world building still pulls a lot of weight for the whole series today, and I'm excited, anxiously hoping that Dragon Age The Veilguard can live up to Origins' excellence. While I wait to see, I'll be kicking it back with this classic. On to some honorable mentions for the month. RimWorld is the GOAT of colony building simulators. Its facade of simplicity with the depth of its mechanics make it one of my favorite video games of all time, and it's my most played video game on Steam. Mass Effect Day is November 7th and 7, so I want to shout out Mass Effect Legendary Collections for being one of the best video game experiences money can buy. But my shortlist wasn't big enough for 2 BioWare RPGs, much less 4, so play at your own risk. Finally, I got really sucked up into UFO 50. The concept of 50 never-before-released NES-era games is an interesting one, and I've never seen any video game like it. I'm compelled to play at least a match or two of Bushido Ball on a daily basis because it's just an absolute blast, and the novelty of the sheer amount of fully developed NES era titles is just unmatched. I hope your November is filled with good food, cozy times, and great video games.